Hey everybody, Stephen here for Entropic Gaming, and today I'm going to be playing more M.A.V. Now, today I'm going to go back into the garage, and I want to try and correct an area of my kind of selection of builds that's currently a bit lacking, and that's the build of like a faster scout type M.A.V. I had some designs kind of like that in the past, but it was a long time ago. I don't know if they're even still all that, viable in the current version of the game, especially because a lot of times scouts tend to run really close to the weight limits. So I wanted to come in here and make one for kind of the current version of the game. So we've got my my sniper build up in here right now. I'll go ahead and trash that out. And so chassis wise, we really have two good options for like scouting. We have the wheels and the hovers. Hovers are going to be a lot faster than the wheels, but I do have the experience that the hovers A, don't generate as much power, and B, don't carry as much weight, and C, are a lot harder to like turn. Hold on just a moment, actually. Let me pop out here real quick. Yep, let's restart the game real quick to get rid of whatever that was. Shooby boop boop boop. This is going to get hacked out. At least that's the plan. Shoobity doop. Alright. There we go. So delete that. But so my inclination with all those factors is to go for the wheels. It seems to be that right now a lot of people really are preferring the wheels over the hovers. So I don't know if that's just people's preference, if that's something that Cyber might need to look into down the road and look at maybe changing, but definitely seems like the hover chassis aren't getting a lot of love right now. So I want to aim for being as fast as I can. So I want to start it on the Scout chassis, which is probably one of the more delicate ones. In fact, I think it's the most delicate. Yes, it is the most delicate chassis. But I'm suspecting that to fit everything I want to fit into it, I'm going to need to upgrade stuff in. So now we're going to look at cockpits. I'm going to actually look at the cephalofoil here, this kind of like, hammerhead looking thing. Because it generates a lot of power. That plus the power from generation from the wheels basically means that I won't have to worry about generators. And it's a little on the heavy side, but not horribly so. So hopefully it's worth the investment, hopefully. It's also a really stable cockpit. Although, actually, now that I think about it, I'm going to actually pop that off because I've already got a lot of power from the chassis. So I'm going to go for a very light cockpit. I'm going to see, I might even try for this Hawk. Really thin, low profile. Right now this kind of build is a very delicate build. I do want to, as part of this setup, I do want to bring in the medium uplink deploy in it. Just because it's one of those things that, as somebody who runs Commander a lot, I love when I have teammates who are fast, zippy scouts kind of like this that can run ahead and start laying out a network for us. So I'm definitely going to want to have that. I will say that this cockpit I'm just not feeling. So I'm going to pull that back off for now. I'm probably not going to be using anything with a lot of recoil. So I'm actually thinking maybe I'll look into the some of the pit bulls. See if I can't find a lightweight but really durable pit bull. Again, my preference for the pit bull is kind of showing itself, but I do really like them. They're nice little cockpits, and that heavy is a little heavier than I would like, but that heavy pit bull's not bad. I'll go try that. Yeah, that totally was me being able to speak. So we got that. I will say I do need to figure out what I'm going to use. Actually, I am going to actually switch over to the cephalophile. Because with what all the stuff I want to put on here is I'd like to get a Comsys on here as well. It's going to be... the bullnose is actually a lot... about as heavy as that Pitbull I was looking at and a lot more durable. So I'm going to try the bullnose actually. And we'll slip that around like that. Because I do like... Cyber was using a build on Sunday that kind of looked like a praying mantis of sorts. And I kind of like that like look of it, that, you know, like praying mantis arm. It's just kind of cool. So our weight's getting up there already, but we got lots of power still. Now if I go for a Comsys, can I fit on the Com8? Oh, easily. The trick is fitting it onto here. This particular cockpit can be a little wonky when it comes to fitting stuff. And really that's about the only option I've got. And we're already almost overweight as it is. So with that in mind, I'm going to lift off this whole setup here. We were looking at the Scout. Let's see if we can find something a chassis that will hold more but still be decently fast. So we're looking at 35 let's see what the max carrying capacity is. 47 seems to be the max I'm seeing. So let's see if we can find a high capacity with some decent speed on it still. Let's try this Heavy Scout X. So we slap that on there. Now I've got about 1,400 pounds, a little less. About 1,350 pounds left. And about 400 power. So now the trick is finding weapons that will work well with this. The problem with Scout builds like this is that you're fast, you're zippy, you can move in quickly, but the weight limitations of the chassis make it so that it's really hard to armor yourself, and you often don't have really tough parts that can take hits really well. So you kind of have to like hit and run a little bit. Either that or you have to just hit them really hard. And a lot of times the cockpits you're using don't have the best recoil management either. So like a lot like trying to run it with like snipers and stuff can be really hard at times. I'm actually tempted to try running it with a heavy rocket, but that's too much weight. So could look at shotguns maybe, but I'm not a huge fan of them. I think they got changed. They used to be really, really angry shotguns. In fact, the type of build called a shot cart or a shotgun cart that was a wheeled build with shotguns that zoomed in and just wrecked stuff. But I think shotguns got nerfed somehow or something. I might look at the rockets and see what I can find for like a nasty hitting rocket. I do prefer my rockets to have a high shot. For anything I use to have a high shot velocity, to be fair. So you got the LGT rocket quad, which is 2217, 2915, weight 419, weight 270. Well, let's see what I have for weapon groups. They're groups of 4. So I could fit probably the one that down here. I could fit probably 4 onto here, and I'd be firing them in. Let's put them on here to see how the weight works. So I could actually get a 5th one even, but then I'd be in multiple groups and it'd be awkward. Alternatively, as much as I like the Mantis look, the sides of the cockpit are really the best spots for stuff like these rockets. So it might be better to brain to put them someplace else. Suppose I could even put them against the side of this. Let's pull that off. I want to try putting on a different comm system, a little smaller one. That one weighs a lot, and just stepping it down one will really, hopefully, and of course, therein lies our problem, is that, again, the way the connection points are on this is less than ideal. It was really, really hard to connect stuff. Can I do that? I can do that. Might look cooler though to have them pincered up over this way. That's the most protected form for them to take, but I also can't get a second one like that. So we got those. And now I could connect onto one of those with that. The only downside to that potentially really is that it becomes reliant on that, and that's a really big target, and I don't like that. So we'll pull that all off for now. I'd like to see if I could get a third, two sets of 3 of this, because that would definitely hit a lot nicer. So we got that. Can I just use these like giant shield things? I mean, I kind of can. And that way I can kind of... son of a... Come on. That was not the right way. There we go. But now it's in the wrong spot. Okay, let's get these on here right. So let's put on the middle one there. And it'll spin, spin, and spin. So get that. Get that, spin you down. So now the question becomes, as it stands, does the weight work? Yes, it does, as does the power. A little on the slowest side, but not horribly so. The question, though, then becomes potentially, should I just downgrade even further and go for the really small one? I could downgrade the comm system to the 450, throw that, and that back in there. It's still sticking up over the top, and I still don't like that, but not much I can do about it. That's one of the things, downsides of this cockpit. I love this cockpit ever since I unlocked it. It's a great little cockpit for a lot of stuff. It's listed as a support, but a lot of people, I've heard people say that it's just a good cockpit for just about everything. But not having like a straight off the back connector point really does hurt sometimes. We got the power, got a little bit more speed that way, but not a noticeably huge difference. I'm going to just pop that back off. We'll bring back in the other one because I do like to have the larger ones if I can. And that one just looks better anyways. So let's just see if we can't, grab a little, crappy spacer. It's a little small angle. So we'll spin that around. And we'll turn you sideways. You're still kind of a really obvious target. It's not ideal by any means. Let's try entertaining the idea of not using this partial angle. Let's go for the 90-degree small angle. So 20 pounds more, but I think we have the space, the weight, allotment anyways. So, and this way, whoops. Let's not take off the whole bloody thing. I don't lose any speed. I'm the same speed. And this way, it's pretty much out of line of fire, a lot better. So we got a decent setup. Let's go ahead and set up our weapon groups. And we get those set up, and then let's go ahead and go give this a test. So we'll pop out to the main menu and go into some single player, see what we can do with this. So we'll go into the quick battle. Looks like the servers are down at the moment. Not too surprising. I think Cyber's been working on some kind of update thing, so let's test it against a scout. We'll start an outpost alpha. Switch it over to siege. There we go. So I don't think I've ever used these particular rockets. I used to use rockets a lot, but this high shot velocity setup I don't have experience with, so we'll have to see how it works out. We'll throw that down. So we got the network start going up. It's weird being this fast. I'm not used to being in fast builds. I'm usually in those kind of stompy, slow. Type builds. I haven't seen any sign on the map yet. Really don't need to rely on a comm system for that. There it is, over there. Yep. Outpost Alpha is a map that's so small that it's pretty easy to just, manually, visually find. Come on, click it down. There we go. Clearly it's going after my base, but let's head back over there and see what we can do with these rockets. Having this many deployables is kind of overkill, but there we go. Let's get up there and mess with our friend. At a hover scout? It is. Whoops. Nope. 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 And down he goes. So the scout went down easily enough. I didn't get a good chance to look at how I was doing for my stuff, but scout, support, attacker, interesting card split. Engineer is the biggest one, go figure. I'm running around dropping comm sys deploys and with a comm sys of my own on it. So let's bring in something a little bit more challenging to kill, though, because scouts are fairly easy to take out. Let's challenge myself with the defender. Now, we'll see. Scout versus defender isn't a setup that really usually plays out well in the favor of a scout. So if it can do well against this, it might be worth giving a shot. All right, let's kind of peek out over there and see if we can just find him visually. I don't see a sign of him at all. But I'm sure the enemy AI is out here somewhere. Oh, way there. It's much easier to kind of aim these. They fly much more like a straight line. I like these rockets a lot compared to the... Oh, this is not... Stopping is not good. You never want to be stopping. Oops, I lost something. Ah, stopping is bad. Stopping is bad. I think I've got this thing mostly stripped. Definitely much easier to land the hits with these rockets I'm trying here. I like how there's the one gun that's just not coming off. Oh, I stand corrected. That looks like the last gun. Alright, so yeah, my legs are okay for having fought with that. Don't know if that was the best example of a defender. I'm down one of my comm deploys, but I'll accept it. Now, let's kind of just entertain the notion of this thing being used going after base hits. So let me slip in here, we'll reload, just so we can get an idea as to how fast this kill would be for this. So we'll aim up at that, and interesting trajectory on those rockets. It really is. Huh. But they go up and then just go straight. It's a really weird trajectory. I have a lot of drop to them, but they don't arc like a normal arc either. It's definitely interesting. About out of ammo here, so it looks like one load of ammo is not enough, even with full, to get, you know, a base down, but definitely put some hurt on it, that's for sure. Yeah, if this thing can't even take it out with 2 full, you know, loads of ammo, then we'll just know. I'll just know that, you know, this thing really isn't fit for base kills. But definitely seems like it tangled with that defender fairly well. This might be something that has some merit to it. And the base definitely isn't happy, but I don't think it's going down by these last couple volleys. Yep, okay. So, yeah, this thing just doesn't have the firepower to kill bases, but scouts really aren't designed to kill bases anyways. So, let's go find our friend and finish them off the battle off that way. I mean, for tangling with the defender, it came out pretty clean for that. And it's still pretty fast, so I'm pretty happy with how this looks, honestly. I want to test it a couple more times, you know, see if I can get some other build areas. Not build areas, but like other build types, like other role types. You know, try it against an attacker, maybe try it against another defender or two, just so you can see if this is a consistent thing or if it was just, you know, this particular defender was a junk design, you know what I mean? Hard to say. Let's slow that down, just for the experience. Hey there, friend. Yeah, I like these rockets a lot. It's really easy to land. Yep, there goes a kill. To land the shots with it, so that's good. That's good to know. That's one thing that I'd started having some problem with. Some of the problems with the rockets sometimes was landing kills with them, but primarily engineer and support again, because I'm using technically rockets are kind of an artillery thing, but I'm not as concerned about how the experience is awarded as much as I'm concerned with how it plays. So let's pop into here one more time. And let's set it to another defender. We'll see if I get a defender that really messes me up. Speaking of defenders give up motility for durability and firepower. It's very common to see them, etc., etc., etc. Alright, and we'll slap down one there. And I see him all the way over there. Lots of experience for putting down comsys stuff. Alright, let's go ahead and go tangle. When you're using like a wheeled build like this, we really are very reliant on your ability to dodge. The wheels are agonizingly unpredictable at times when it comes to how they can move. Oops, there goes a bunch of weapons. There's a bunch more weapons. So yeah, this thing just stripped it in no time. So, no, again, it's hard to predict with, especially with defenders. They don't get a lot of design love right now, so I'm going to do one more against a like an attacker. Hopefully we can get like a Spartan build or something. It's good to see these in actual action. I haven't had to try to scout build like this in probably a good year and a half-ish. So it's good to see. Up and down it goes. Good to see it in action. Good to see that, I'm a little bit more picky about my choices. There's a little bit more in there for me in terms of, performance that I can get out of, my builds. So let's try it against an attacker, and if it holds up well against an attacker, I think we'll call this a rousing success. A build like this is especially nice on big maps like New Amazon, or No Man's Pass is another really good one for fast, scouty maps like this. I know on New Amazon in particular, you can a lot of times end up with some really long, I lost a lot of the footage from on Sunday when we did a siege map in New Amazon, but I spent probably like the last third of the match just trudging by myself alone across the map, and I could see enemies on the map because we had builds kind of like the one I'm working on trying to make that were zipping out, putting out stuff. Really, that's an attacker? You put an attacker in a hover. Hi. Yeah, that was not a good test by any means. What did I lose? I lost one of my uplinks, which is kind of why I put them where I put them, as I put them there to try and hopefully take hits for my my guns. So it's good to know that they're doing that, but that was not the attacker I was trying to test against. So we'll try one more time. Game settings. Attacker. We'll switch to a sniper, and then we'll switch it back to an attacker. And hopefully get an attacker that's actually a more standard attacker. It doesn't need to be. I would like it to be a Spartan, but as long as it's like a bipedal attacker, soldiery type, build. That's what I'm trying to test against. No, wasn't expecting to see a hover. Not by any means. And we got another hover. Whatever. Interesting. So apparently that struggles a little bit with harder to hit builds like that. Although I wasn't exactly driving it very well. I'm not great with trying to drive these little zippy scout builds. So it's good information to get, though. I'm not going to keep subjecting you guys to, RNG chances to whether or not I can get the attacker I'm trying to fight with this thing. This seems like a pretty decent, viable scout. So I'll get it painted up, and seems like it's a viable option. Hopefully, with any luck, I'll be able to give it a try next Sunday during the Fun Day. We usually end up playing on New Amazon or New No Man's Pass at least once or twice. So if those come up, I can just bring that in, and we'll see how it performs. It'd be good to have a commander that isn't a slow plotting, sniper or howitzer build as well. So other than that, thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.